Hey guys, it's Unconventional Augie again. I'm going to be showing you guys how to install a solid state drive to an Alienware X51. And I've got the 250 gigabyte solid state drive from Samsung. Now, three things that you're going to need, and I'll put a link to the description. You're going to need an SATA, I'm going to refer to it as SATA cable. It's the data cable. It's going to connect from the solid state drive to the motherboard. We're going to do also a 4-pin Molex cable, a male to the Y split, 2 females. And then you're also going to need the Molex 4-pin data cable, power cable to the to SATA, and that's going to also go into the steady state, the solid state drive. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just get started. I'm going to run through this thing, try to keep up. I'll try to take things slow, especially for you first timers taking this thing apart. The first thing you're going to want to do, on the back of the machine you have a screw right there. Yeah, make sure you guys can see that. There we go. So that screw right there on the back, we're gonna unscrew that, and then the case will slide right off. You're also going to need a screwdriver. I'm going to use my power drill because that's all I have at my disposal right now. But that kind of head on it is what you're going to need. Once that's screwed off, the case will slide forward and it'll disconnect. When you open it, keep in mind there's a cable attached to the inside for the LEDs. What you'll do is you'll disconnect these cables here, kind of wiggle it off. We'll set that to the side. Next, what you want to do is you want to remove the optical drive from the computer, and what we'll do is there's going to be one screw right there, and you'll unscrew that. And it'll slide right off. Keep track of those screws because you'll need those when we screw it back on. We're going to go ahead and slide this out and lift. There's a cable attached to it. I'm going to just disconnect that. I'm going to set that to the side. Now, to give ourselves some extra space, I'm going to take off this cover to the fan. It'll give us a little bit more space to kind of see things. A little more space to work with here. Set those to the side. Boom. Okay. Now that we've got that, what we're going to do first, you're going to disconnect this cable here. There's this 4-pin cable that looks similar, and that's where this is gonna go. It's gonna be really tough to get it off. You'll need to wiggle. Make sure you wiggle it side to side while pulling it off in order to get it off. I've already actually taken mine out, so it's a little easier for me, but take that out first. Next, what you're gonna do is you're gonna connect one of the female ends into that hole that was just in. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for you guys and make it a little easier for you guys to see. There we go. All right. We're going to plug this right in here. I'm sorry, the female connection. And the female connection is going to be the connection with the holes. And we're just going to wiggle that on in there. Make sure it's nice and snug. We're gonna attach the male end of this part to the female part that was just connected. So we're just pretty much rerouting the power that was coming from here into this one, so we'll have an extra female adapter there. So I'm gonna plug these in together. I'm gonna just try to straighten these out a little bit because I don't want to risk damaging these pins. Okay, and gonna slide that on there. play the wiggle dance, make sure it's connected. Good, it's nice and snug. The next step, we're gonna connect this female adapter to, if I can find it, this adapter, and this is the one that has the Molex 4-pin to the power, the SATA power, and we're gonna connect these two together. And I'm gonna be careful with these. Some of them were kind of straight, and I ruined one of these actually because it ended up pushing one of them deep into the setup there. But carefully put these two together. Gosh. All right, that should fit nice and snug. Okay, now that's ready for the drive. We're gonna set this to the side. The next step is where this SATA data cord goes. The next step, we're gonna install this SATA data cord here. Now follow me here. This cable that we connected that went into the optical drive sits next to another cable that says SATA 2. And there's another port right here next to it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna plug this cable into that port. It's an open port, there should be nothing connected to it. And we're gonna plug that, get a good snap, and boom, that's it. That's good to go. Now we're connected, we've got the power, we've got the data. The next step is going to be to reinstall the optical drive, and we're gonna plug those things into the solid state drive. So, what I like to do here with the cables, we want to make sure this fan is not occluded. There's nothing going to be touching it. So I like to put my cables around the side over here, but kind of down. You just have to kind of play with it. And for these cables, you want to have these coming out this side. That way we can attach this to the solid state drive and still have some room to mess around there. So kind of tuck those down in there. We're gonna take the optical drive here. We're gonna insert it just back the way we took it out. So I'm gonna just seat it there and slide that right back in. Okay, now that we've got that seated, we've got this cable coming out this side. We've got access to this one, and we've got access to this one. I'm gonna go ahead and re-screw this optical drive right back in here. All right, got that screwed in. Go ahead and plug this power cable back into the optical drive so we can continue to use that. Let's see here. And then next what we're gonna do is we're going to, okay, what we'll do now is we'll replace the fan cover. Gonna place it right here. Remember, this slope down is gonna be facing the back of the computer here. All right, get that seated. We'll screw those back on. All right. The next step is we're gonna go ahead and plug these power cables, these cables into the solid state drive. And what we'll do, this is the power cable, there's a longer cable there. That's how this will connect. We'll go ahead and plug that in. And then same thing with the data cable. We'll go ahead and plug that like so. And boom, that is it. Go. After where to put the solid state drive, for me personally, you could always get Velcro and stick it here, maybe stick it here, but for me, I'm cheap. I'm just gonna slide this sideways right in there, and that's just how it'll sit. All right, that's all done. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tuck this cable here slightly. Let me just tuck it there so I know it's not gonna slide around. And this one, just like so. All right, last thing to do here's gonna be replace the case. We'll grab that case. Remember, you'll plug this cable right into here. We'll replace the case. And we got that last screw to replace right there on the side where it came in. So we'll go ahead and screw that back on. And we're all set. All right, time to fire this baby up.